It's the National Football League presented by EA Sports. It is Week 16 in the NFL, and we've got a good one in store, as it'll be the Houston Texans taking on the New York Jets. Season is upon us. We've got the gift of the NFL as we're underway here in Week 16. Ball up to the 35 now as they come up on 1st and 10.
Here we go.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Oh, it's a screen pass. That's complete. And some room to maneuver. And they've got it well across midfield down to the 40 before it's all said and done. 25 yards that time.
And as you're game planning as a staff, you go through all the different ways you can neutralize the other guy's pass rushers. Extra linemen, leave a tight end in, bring the running backs back in to block. Or you can do this, a little simple screen pass, and it works to perfection.
So a 1st and 10 now in Houston territory, right at the 40. On the RPO, that's complete right side. So the completion results there in 9 yards. And that'll give them a short yardage situation here for 2nd down. 1 yard line.
Go, Reed, go.
They run the counter. And he's able to get it down to the 25-yard line. 6 yards the pickup, and that's a 1st down. The Jets had 8-6 now on the year. They were losers last time out, trying to turn things around here in this one.
And it always helps to have a home crowd behind you, giving you encouragement as long as you give them something good to cheer about. So you know they just want to come out and play well for their faithful, and I expect them to do just that.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Well, we know he can run the football too, but he's a good pass catcher. That's been on display here, Charles, on this opening drive.
And we certainly have seen the benefits of what he did in the offseason, which was spend more time with wide receivers, working on routes, working on cuts, in order to make himself a more complete running back and even more of a threat downfield.
They'll get 3 as the drive continues. It's a 1st down.
Ready, break.
Back to throw here. Over the middle, caught by London. And he's going to be taken down here with a penalty flag on the field. They're backed up here with a 1st and 20 now after the holding penalty. They'll look to throw here. And he's got his man in stride, complete. They get 14 yards, but not enough for the 1st down due to the previous penalty. But yet another completion here on this opening drive, and he's now perfect 4 of 4 to start. Pretty solid execution here.
And how about how everyone's handled their nerves? Because you know what it's like to start a ball game. You're so amped up and ready to go, and sometimes the execution isn't there. They've been flawless so far. Well drilled, well prepared, and excited to start this game.
And that'll fall incomplete. He was hit just as he let that go. And now it's 3rd down.
It's been a good opening drive offensively thus far, but you know they don't want to waste it and settle for a field goal attempt after that incompletion. So this is a big play coming up here on 3rd down.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. He's got the 1st down and more. And he'll finally be taken down at the 2-yard line. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal. And the pocket's been protected pretty good here so far on the opening drive.
We always talk about confidence in runners and catchers and quarterbacks. How about the protection detail? They're not allowing anyone near the guy throwing the football.
Hurt, let's go. Ready, up.
They'll try to run this one in. Nothing doing there. They're going to wind up holding him at the 2. No gain there, and it's going to set up 2nd and goal.
Leads to 2nd and goal at the 2-yard line.
Here we go, set. Cougar 19.
He'll try again. And this time he's in for a Jets touchdown. And that caps off what was really a balanced opening drive for them, Charles. They work in the rushing game and the aerial attack, and they ended with a touchdown.
Strong in so many ways, wasn't it, partner? Their ability to throw it and run it and accomplish their goal, they've got to like the way that they started this ball game.
And this one definitely not in the landing zone. In fact, it's over the back line. So this is going to come out to the 35. Looking to put a drive together. Throwing now is Stroud. Open man is Higgins. And he'll be tackled right on the chalk of the 45. Counting down toward the midway point in quarter 1.
The Texans, first down. It's a gain of 10.
Stroud looking to throw. And that one complete once again to Higgins. And that's good for a gain of 6. And it's 2nd down. So, CD, this defense, they know that they have to be at their very best when they're taking on a team here that's in the midst of a winning streak that's now stretched over multiple months, not weeks, months.
I think the challenge they put upon themselves is we want to be the guys to end that streak. And what's working in their favor? The winning streak on the other side. Sometimes that carries a burden with it because they feel like they have to play perfectly as well. Let's just go out there and get them is the idea.
6-yard line.
So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Back to throw. Here's Stroud. Now a run here off the RPO. He'll keep it. And it's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And inside the 20 before he's brought down. 17 yards on the catch and run. It's a 1st down. That's a great example right there to remind everyone of what a weapon he can be as a mobile quarterback, Charles. Nice play to escape the pocket and get his offense into the red zone with a 1st down.
The defensive coach is losing their mind on that play because they knew about his mobility coming in, and they preached all week long. If he gets outside the pocket, find receivers in your area and cover them. Otherwise, plays like that will continue to result.
And Stroud now to throw. And this is going to be incomplete.
But when you're going up against a talented receiver like that, you just know that they're going to bring more people to him, right? They're going to double cover him every chance they get.
I think that is what we're going to see all game long. An early taste of that double, maybe even sometimes triple coverage we might see.
Yeah, I think what they're counting on, his talent to sometimes beat that double coverage.
Here comes the 7th play now of this drive as this is 3rd and 10.
All right.
Here's Stroud. Touchdown! Oronde Gadsden with touchdown number 8 on the year. And the Texans respond to that opening drive touchdown with one of their own.
The tight end position has always been dangerous, especially in the red zone, short field. But now even more so because these tight ends aren't necessarily the tight ends of old. They're the rocked-up wide receivers who have a little bit more speed. Way harder to cover than before.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And we are tied at 7. Each team's had it. Each team has scored. 7-7 here as the kick's away. And they will not get a chance to return this one as it's through the end zone for a touchback.
35-yard line.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. A long drive last time out for this offense, Charles. If you remember, they started basically in the shadows of their own end zone, marched it down the field, and a lot of that was through the passing game.
And partner, as a former defensive back, I'm having almost a physical reaction watching what's happening right now. But let's give credit where it's due, because they've done an excellent job moving the ball through the air. Secondary getting picked apart pass by pass. Obviously, they need to make some adjustments there at the back end.
And because offensively, we know that they're not going to be shy about throwing that football. Back-to-back good plays have them on the move on first down. Now back to throw. He'll find his rookie wideout from Ohio State here. They get him to the ground right on the cusp of the red zone after a pickup of 5 or 6. Here's a 2nd and 5.
At the 20-yard line.
Here's a play fake as they set up to throw. And it's caught. And he's in. Touchdown, Jets. A 20-yard touchdown. And the Jets have taken the lead. Point after, right down the middle. And that makes the score 14-7.
Texans 7.
Set now to kick this one away, and off it goes. Oh, a good-looking return set up here. And they're going to have terrific field position as they finally get to him, but just shy of the midfield stripe.
Well, you gave up the first touchdown of the game, but how about the response? Big-time return. Now it's their chance to try and put points on the board.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. This drive here beginning probably with a pair of motivated groups. Remember, the offense scored a touchdown on their last time out, looking to repeat that in Charles's defense. They were very frustrated after giving up 6 the last time on the field.
And frankly, it's just a battle of wills in a lot of ways, because you know they're both motivated, they both game plan for this drive, and they both have specific outcomes in mind. To me, it just comes down to who can execute better and which side can step up and assert its will over the other.
Play action. Stroud now. Throw left side complete. That's Schultz. And he's in. Touchdown, Houston. Dalton Schultz from 21 yards away. And the Texans are within an extra point of tying up this ball game. Fairbairn now to add the extra point. And we've got a good one brewing. We're all knotted up at 14.
Ties the game at 14. Fairbairn to kick off.
This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And the returner down to a lead. This will come out to the 35-yard line. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And the points, they have come fast and furious in this quarter.
You really don't want to be on the defensive side of the ball right now, do you? Because you're either thinking, my replacement may get an opportunity.
Your head better be on a swivel.
Totally. Or maybe I just need to get out of the game for a while because I just can't slow these guys down. They've got to figure out a way to disrupt these offenses. And typically, one guy makes a big play, and that can help change things.
They'll be looking for disruption on both sides right now. These two teams all tied after one. Second quarter now from MetLife Stadium. The Jets with the football here as they've got it 2nd and 7.
On the ready. Stephanie. Bronco 80. Big Lion.
They'll keep it on the ground. Counter. And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. That's good for a Jet first down, a gain of 13.
First and 10 at the 49-yard line.
He'll drop to throw. The short one there, caught by Likely. And he's got this down to the 35. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another first down.
That's another Jets first down.
On play action, they'll throw. Looking left side, and it's complete. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. Two big plays in succession. Not sure this D knows what hit him, but now they got to get ready. It's first and goal. And he'll be stopped just outside the 5 at the 6. Give him 2 yards on that one. Second and goal now.
The yards may start getting a little tougher to come by down here near the goal line. That's good work defensively there on first down, holding them to a short gain.
On second and goal, they'll give it to him again. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of a full 3 yards there, and it also brings up third down.
Rangers, 70 Rangers. Ready? 7 Pirates, 7 Pirates. Hut, hut.
He'll look to throw. And this is going to be intercepted. And the Texans are going to have it here at their own 32-yard line. And the defense, Charles, they bit a little bit, but they did not break. And then on third and goal, there's a huge interception.
Think of the momentum they're carrying with them right now, Brandon, because in their mind, whether they want to admit it or not, they were conceding 3 points. Their goal was to keep them at the end zone, not give up a touchdown. Instead,
and that's caught inside the 35. And they'll get this to the 30-yard line before crossing over out of bounds. So in Jet territory now. Here's first and 10 at the 30-yard line.
First and 10 at the 30-yard line.
Now a handoff to Bigsby. And he works his way free all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone.
Gain of 10 yards. That's another Texans first down.
On first and 10, it's Bigsby. And just a couple yards there down to the 17. Well done to sniff that out defensively. He had it diagnosed pretty quickly.
I love that description because diagnosed is perfect on that one. Read his keys, made the play, and he couldn't even get going moving the football.
Here's a second and 8.
Here we go.
And that is incomplete. A lot of force bearing down on him there. He could not hang on. It's third down. They'll be in search of 8 yards here as they hope to convert the first down.
18.
Stroud to throw it. He's got the tight end. That's Gadsden. And the Texans are going to have first and goal as they try to finish off this drive with 6 points.
It's a gain of 11. That's another Texans first down.
From the gun, Bigsby. And he's going to press this one forward as they stop him right around the 1. Well, we looked at each other right when he flinched. We knew that that flag was coming.
Yeah, offsides, easy call, mark off the 5, and keep it moving.
So now from half the distance closer, here's first and goal. They'll try to run this one in. And he's going to get this back to the 3-yard line and no further. They'll say no gain on the play, and it'll be second and goal.
I don't know about you, Brandon, but I often think to myself, in these situations, I want a back who can create his own space, who can break tackles, and in a sense, become his own blocker. We don't have that guy in the game right now.
They'll motion out one of the tight ends. Bigsby going to be hit and met at the line of scrimmage. They get him down at the 3. That'll be a loss of a yard, and it leads to a third down.
And now third and goal coming up. The loss on second down.
that just means this crowd's going to get even louder, and they'll get a little bit of extra help from the defenders as they exhort them to join them in the effort.
And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
My first thought is surprise, because that's one of the better tight ends around, and I've seen him pull in balls like this before. But how about a little credit to the defense forcing that incompletion?
A field goal would break the tie, but look at this. Instead, they're going to go for it on 4th and goal.
19 Texans. Why Tony?
Now Stroud. And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans. Tank Bigsby, his 26th touchdown, drawing even with Marshall Faulk for the 4th most in a single season. And the Texans take a chance, but they find pay dirt on 4th and goal. Well, just a sensational start for this offense, Charles. 3 drives, 3 passing touchdowns.
Is that like mentioning a perfect game in baseball? Or are we cool to do it here in football, partner?
No, I think you can do it here in football. I think perfect game in baseball, that's its own category.
Yeah, I think you're right about that. Could not imagine a worse start for that secondary. Or let's face it, a better one for this offense. No chance to stop passing now the way that it's going. I think we'll continue to press the ball downfield and hopefully reap the same results.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. In a close game like this, Charles, those interceptions like they had on the last drive could be costly, but here they've got another opportunity to seize control of this game.
And they better take advantage of it, because otherwise, if they end up losing by 1 score, they'll relive this over and over and over until they have another opportunity to wipe it away.
Another fine carry from the NFL's rushing leader, and quarterbacks typically dominating the MVP balloting, but I think you got to give this guy serious consideration, don't you?
I agree totally. I mean, he's leading the league in rushing, and let's face it, partner, the running back renaissance in the NFL, it's real, and it's really helping teams along the way. He's a prime example. Got to give him strong consideration for MVP talk.
Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. He'll look to throw. Wide open receiver, complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. Good yardage after the catch. Is that play good for 30 and a first?
When they've needed a play this year, he's certainly been the guy to deliver it. As this season has gone on, he's been awfully consistent and sometimes spectacular.
Back to throw now on 1st down. Now they set up the screen. That's complete. And down inside the 15, shy of the 10. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. Now a 1st and 10 at the 11.
Come on.
They'll look to throw. This will be caught at about the 5. And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on 1st down.
Brings up 2nd
Cowboy,
and 9.
let's go now.
At the 1-yard line.
70 Lions. Go.
And he's into the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. A great play there. Keeping it himself from a yard out. And the Jets are an extra point away from tying the ball game here in the final minute of the 1st half. A couple of teams locked into a good one here. 21 all the score as the kick's away. And this one over the back line of the end zone. Well, they definitely don't want to give him a shot at returning it. That's obvious. So the ball will come out to the 30. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And with a little under a minute to play, they may be looking to pick up some yardage here, maybe try and come up with a field goal to seize the lead before intermission. Big strides, look at him go. And he'll take this one in for a Texans touchdown. Rondé Gadsden, his 2nd touchdown of the game and his 9th on the year. And the Texans will take the lead here in the final minute of the 1st half. These two teams in this first half, it's been fun. Back and forth, back and forth. Well, it's not fun for the defensive coordinators, but offensive coordinators are enjoying it.
Yeah, they're having streaks here, aren't they? Being able to put scores together and really bunch them up, and we have a tight game here. You know, we often talk about having the right shoes for the right turf. Today it's track shoes, because that's what we've seen with these offenses.
Yeah, it's been an absolute track meet so far. Fun to watch.
At their own 35-yard line.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. A slim deficit here in a one-possession game. Not much time left, obviously. We'll see if they can march this down the field, at least get 3, and take some momentum into the locker room. Now it's 2nd and 10.
At the 35-yard line.
They'll set up to throw. Oh, and his early struggles continue. Here's another one intercepted. And the Texans are going to get this back to their own 34-yard line.
And that's what we've seen from this defense all year long, because they've been so good at finding ways to take the football away. And they just gave us another example right here. A strong defense, that's something you're going to need to rely on come playoff time. And this crew has got one. There's no doubt about that, Brandon.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And they'll have a little bit of time to work with. 35 seconds until the break. And he's not going to go anywhere as they get him down behind the line of scrimmage. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with a little over 30 seconds to go in the first half of play. In motion, the tight end. Stroud. And I think that one might have been intercepted, but he will be ruled out of bounds. So this will go only as incomplete. An incomplete pass on that last play, and that means they'll need to come up with something here on 3rd down. They'll set up a screen for Bigsby. And he can only manage to take this thing to the 38, well shy of the first down. Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts as they stop it with 19 seconds to go in half number 1. On is the punter Townsend as he gets this one away. This is taken at about the 14. An excellent return that time, 26 yards. And control of the football, switching hands with very little time remaining until the half. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And maybe a chance for a quick completion and then a long field goal try. We'll see. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock.
Well, no one likes to see that drop, but I'll guarantee it's not going to stop his quarterback from going back to him anytime he has open space.
19, Charger, 19, go.
They'll throw now on the final play. He's going to take a shot at the end zone. Why not? And this is caught. And he's in for the touchdown. The final play of the first half. The prayer is answered.
How did they get that done? And after that touchdown, we are just a PAT away from a tie game. And I know everyone's going to look at it and go, guess what? Tie game, all even. If they just scored, if they kick this extra point and tie it, they're going to feel like they're the ones that are in control.
To get the party started for the second half. It was an even first half, all tied on the scoreboard. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going.
It's a tie football game here. What do you think, Charles, the message was at halftime?
Well, I think that they probably just looked at things and said, we're fortunate that this is a tie game. No need to panic. No need to change a whole lot. We didn't play anything close to our best in the first half, so we don't have to go out and win one for the Gipper. Let's just go out and play our best football and win one for us.
And he'll be out of bounds up near the 45 at the 44. They'll wind up getting 9 after tucking it and running, so it'll leave them with 2nd and a yard.
Here's a give to Bigsby.
And the big boys up front, they're going to stop him right at the line.
A yard, all they need, but it's 3rd down.
Looking to throw. Stroud out to the flat. That's complete to his running back.
And he is going to have a Texans first down as they're able to convert by plenty there on 3rd and 1.
And the Texans first down. 1st and 10 at the 50-yard
A run here with Bigsby.
And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, 2nd and 12.
That was well played there defensively. 2 tight ends in the formation, which essentially gave them 7 blockers up front. Hard to imagine with all that size and beef that they could let a tackler through, but that's exactly what happened. A loss resulted.
Stroud working out of the gun.
And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. From the gun on 3rd down, Stroud. And he's got this down a yard or 2 shy of the 40 before he's out of bounds. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down.
It's 4th down.
Here we go. Hey, no more. Rock. Level stop.
Operating from the gun, Stroud.
And he is caught. He's got the first down and more than that.
And they'll have it in the red zone before he crosses over out of bounds. Not often do 4th down conversions result in 23 yards, but that's the case here. 1st down.
It's a gain of 23 yards. 1st down, Houston.
Play action. Here's Stroud.
And he's got it. And out of bounds all the way down at the 3. He was held without a catch in the first half, but he's got one here, and he also picks up a 1st down.
1st and goal at the 3-yard line.
Here we go.
Stroud will look to throw once more.
This is caught. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line.
Stroud wants to change it up with an audible.
At the Jets' 1-yard line.
On the carry, Bigsby.
And nothing doing. He's immediately taken down at the line of scrimmage.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few.
And got his man. It's caught. Touchdown, Houston.
Jaden Higgins
There to make the grab.
And the Texans have taken the lead as they go right down the field and score on the opening drive of the 2nd half.
That's why you've got your star out there. Throw the ball to him. They did.
That's simply saying we don't care what coverage you put out there. He's so good. We're going there with the football anyway, and there's not a thing you can do about it.
Inside the red zone, they go to him. He gets it done. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away.
They'll elect to bring it out here from the end zone. And the decision to bring it out, kind of a costly one, as he won't make it back to the 20.
18-yard line.
Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And this game was all square at halftime, but now they find themselves down 7 following the opening drive touchdown here in the third quarter.
And they need to take a good, relaxing, deep breath, don't you think? Because right now they might start to feel like they've got to play catch-up here and start matching them point for point. But it's still too early to get there. They can still run their offense. Plenty of time to get back in this game.
Well, that'll be incomplete. Well, he took a shot as he let that go. And it's going to bring up a third down.
And those two just haven't been in sync thus far. They've done a nice job against him, but still, with his talent, you would expect them to have more completions to him in this game.
Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down.
60 Eagles, 60 Eagles. Buffalo 18.
Back to throw here. He had a man open, but he missed him, and it's incomplete.
Partner, the way this offense has marched up and down the field during this game, it's almost a surprise to see an incomplete pass on 3rd down, isn't it?
Yeah, they have had their foot on the gas all game long, but here finally stalling out. Here's the Jets punter now, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. And just a single punt for him in the loss last week as he sends this one away. And taken right on the 30. Good coverage there holds him to just a 2-yard return following a punt of 44. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And they'll just simply be looking to build off the confidence of the last time out where they scored a touchdown.
And confidence is powerful, isn't it? When you've scored once, you feel like you can go back out there and get it done again. Doesn't matter what the defense throws at them. They feel like they're in a groove right now, and they want to get out there and show it.
Yeah, hoping to stay in that groove here this go-around.
Now, how about that? Defensive coordinator perfectly in sync, dials up a blitz. And the man in the middle, he's the one who gets home.
Big Mike.
Big Mike.
After the sack on 1st down, Stroud. He's going to launch this deep for Watson. That's caught inside the 20. Touchdown, Houston. Christian Watson, 70 yards. And the Texans are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. Charles, there aren't really any slow receivers, but there's fast and then really fast. He's really fast, and he showed off the afterburners there.
And that he is, because when he took off, I was thinking there was no chance that he can actually reach him with that pass. Yet he did, and he's still sprinting. And just think about what that does for everyone else on his team, because his ability to stretch a field opens things up for the rest of the receivers on the team.
Yeah, that'll be a little too hot to handle as it will skip through the end zone for a touchback here.
At their own 35-yard line.
The New York offense taking over for their next possession. These guys definitely hoping for a better showing than their last appearance. They couldn't really even move the football much beyond the shadows of their own goalpost, Charles. We'll see if they can get a better, more sustained drive going here.
Yeah, and every team that we ever talk to says the exact same thing. When you start a drive from that deep in your own territory, the goal is a minimum of at least 2 first downs, because even if you have to punt then, you change the field position, right? You flip the field a little bit. They didn't get that done. This time they want to string together a nice drive and help themselves out.
And now we're going to get a timeout here called by the defense. And as the two teams talk it over on their respective sidelines, we take a break. This is caught inside the 15. And he's going to take it in for a Jets touchdown. A great effort there. 43 yards. And the Jets have got it back to within a score. Extra point right down the middle. And that'll cut the lead down to a touchdown.
42, Jets 35.
The kickoff unit is out on the field, and they will send this one away. And that's going to be short of the landing zone. It doesn't make it there, so that means the ball's going to come out to the 40. Looking to put a drive together. He'll throw from the gun. And they're not able to hook up there. Incomplete.
I see the surprise in your face there, partner. That is a rare incompletion from him. He's been on point this entire game.
He has percentage completion-wise way up. Not that time. Third quarter of a tight football game as we come up on a 2nd and 10. Stroud, he's going to audible to something else. He'll try again with the arm here on 2nd down. And that's going to be incomplete.
They decided the opportunity was there and launched a deep ball, but he was unable to get away from the defender. Couldn't create space, couldn't uncover at the end of the route, and that one winds up incomplete.
So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Throwing now is Stroud. A rifles one, that's going to be intercepted. And they are going to set up shop at the 40-yard line. Good starting position for the Jets as they come up 1st and 10 at the 40. They'll start this drive out on the ground. And some nifty running here as he'll take this across midfield and down to the 47.
1st and 10 at the 47-yard line.
Now a play fake here on 1st down. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far at 2nd down.
Let's go. 1918. 1918. Buffalo 18.
And 2nd and 10, he'll look to throw again. And it's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he works free. And all the way in. Touchdown, New York. A big play there with his 2nd touchdown of the afternoon. And the Jets take the forced turnover on defense and convert it into 6 points. Extra point attempt here still to come. And that will tie our game here in the 3rd quarter.
That ties the game at 42 all.
So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. And this one definitely not in the landing zone. In fact, it's over the back line of the end zone, so this ball will come out to the 30 now. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And their lead has evaporated in this 3rd quarter. It's tied once more as they begin with a 1st and 10. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. That one caught downfield by Watson. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. 39 yards there, a big one.
Despite writing it down on my notes, I never give enough credit to the offensive line, and we have to here. The protection, that's what made this play a success. Quarterback had to wait for his crossing route to develop, and that takes a little bit of extra time. Excellent job by the big fellas up front.
And he stopped immediately there. 3rd quarter, all tied up. This is 2nd and 10. Now they'll change things up. Stroud off the play fake. A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
Well, after watching him ring the bell that many times and put the ball in the end zone throwing it, you had to figure they had to bring some type of pressure. They had to change things up on defense.
And able to get to him, put him on the ground, so maybe just something to throw him off a little bit.
Yeah, that had to feel a lot better for the defensive guys. They've been getting carved up in this one. To finally knock him on the ground and force an incompletion, that's got to be a sigh of relief.
Here's Stroud. And that's going to be incomplete. The contact there enough to jar that ball free. And it brings up 4th down. So on 4th down, Texan kicker Kaimi Fairbairn comes on. Fairbairn able to put this one through. So he's been automatic to this point of the season, and he connects on the field goal there.
And what a luxury it is to have a kicker you can depend upon, partner, because he hasn't missed all year long. Converts on that one as well. And kudos to you. You didn't jinx him.
And he'll wisely just take a knee here, and this ball will come out to the 35. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. They'll start on the ground here on first down. And he is met at the line of scrimmage, and he goes down right there. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
At the 36-yard line.
19 tight. Ready, go.
They'll set up a throw. And this one incomplete. Too much contact to hold on to that one, and it's 3rd down.
It's now 3rd down.
They'll come to the line here needing 9 yards to pick up the first.
Check man. 18 Cardinal, 18 Cardinal. Trap 50, trap 60. Dragon 60. Big Lion, hot go. Ready.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Work in the middle of the field, and he's got him there complete. And he is going to have a Jets first down as they're able to get the 3rd down conversion. You can just kind of sense the momentum turning here. It's 1st and 10.
Panther 60, Panther 60. Check. Ready.
They run the counter. And he's going to be met at the line of scrimmage and taken down.
A gain of a yard. Brings up 2nd and 9. At the 43-yard line.
Cougar 19.
1 quarter remains here in Week 16. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. They work now on 2nd and 9.
Bring it. Get it. 70 Timber.
They'll keep it on the ground. Connor. And he'll go out of bounds after taking it a little further down inside the 40. 81 yards rushing now for the NFL leader coming into this ball game.
So where'd all that running room that he had in the first half go? Because it looks like it's drying up a little bit here. Someone made some adjustments, it appears, at least on this drive.
Come on. Set. Hawk 70. Let go.
On 3rd and short, they'll try and pick it up through the air. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. So here we go. Maybe the biggest kick of the game forthcoming. This from 54 yards away. And this is right down the middle as he puts it through. And in the 4th quarter, this game is tied. So they hadn't called on him at all until this point, but he comes through here and buries one from long range.
Yeah, that's awfully impressive because usually kickers like to get that first one out of their system in the 1st quarter, sort of get them into the flow of the game, but to come in this late and knock it down from long distance, give him a lot of credit.
They're on the 25-yard line.
The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And we essentially have a brand new ball game. After that last field goal has tied us all up, we brace for what should be an exciting rest of this 4th quarter. And he will finally be escorted out of bounds down inside the 35. A huge play there on the screen pass. 44 yards. So in Jet territory now. Here's 1st and 10 down at the 31. Connecting on the out route here with Higgins. And he'll be out of bounds just inside the 25-yard line. Now a 2nd and 2.
It's a gain of 8. Brings up 2nd and 2.
Here's Bigsby. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. In need of a conversion on third down. They had the big play to start the drive. Not much sense.
Back to throw. Here's Stroud. He's got his running back out of the backfield.
And that's going to be another first down as the tackle made at the Jets' 14. Texans passing game in rhythm right now, picking up another first.
And partner, in a tie game in the fourth quarter, you and I both know in the NFL, that's when you lean on your stars, and he came through with a nice catch right there.
On the quick.
On first down, they'll go to the ground attack. And he'll be taken down here at about the 11. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down.
Some of the most unselfish players on any football team, defensive tackles, because we ask them to just eat up blocks, allow other people to make tackles. But when he can make a play himself, as we just saw there, that's a big day.
Stroud sets up the play action.
And he's got his man out of the backfield. That's complete.
And the Texans are going to have a first and goal coming up as the tackle made at the 3-yard line.
Another Texans first down. First and goal, Houston.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
Sometimes I think these defensive tackles get a little bit of a bum rap. We just see them as big guys that eat up blockers for others to make tackles. Oftentimes they're quicker than they get credit for. And this time he uses quickness to make a play.
Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Brandon, some of those windows in front of the football that exist when you're between the 20s, they don't exist when you're this close to the goal line. But as a former DB, I liked it closer to the goal line. Tighter windows made it easier to cover people, actually.
A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, third and goal.
Hey, south. Tony.
And Stroud now to throw.
Toward the pylon, caught. And just shy of the goal line as he's out of bounds right at the 1. A gain of 5, but not enough. Leads to a fourth and goal.
All right, field goal gets you the lead here. I mean, but I might want to just go ahead and go for something big.
Oh, come on, you got to kick it.
I mean, you got to be glad I'm not the head coach here, right? The whole team would want to revolt at this point.
18. Outside. 11. Hey, no more.
Fourth down. Here's Stroud.
And that is caught. Touchdown, Texans.
Oronde Gadsden there to make the grab. And the Texans have broken our tie and have taken a fourth quarter lead.
Fairbairn good with the extra point. And they will take a 7-point lead. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away.
And here comes a return from the middle of the end zone. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And now, after the touchdown a moment ago, they work from behind in a 7-point game in this fourth quarter. Plenty of time on the clock.
From the 32 now, here's first and 10.
First and 10 at the 32-yard line.
Now a handoff up the middle. Counter. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Second and 7, operating from the 34.
They'll keep it on the ground. Counter. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. A yard in the wrong direction makes third down tougher. Third down and 9.
18 Cardinal.
Out of the gun. They'll look to throw. And he fires one, but incomplete.
His back has been a dependable safety valve all game, so he went back to him when his first read was covered. Just unable to connect, so the play results in no gain.
7 Pirates, 18 Cardinal, 18 Cardinal. Street.
Let's go right here.
19 Lions.
Got to try it here. He's back to throw. A hit as he throws, and this is going to be incomplete. The Jets try it, but the fourth down play doesn't work. And the Texans take over an excellent field position.
Okay.
They'll try and run some clock here as they keep it on the ground. And nowhere to run on the interior of that defensive line. He'll get back only to the line of scrimmage.
And for the defense, this is a spot where you don't want to totally sell out to stop the run, but you do have a pretty good idea of what you're going to see. And that's good work right there to keep them in check on that first down carry.
From the 32-yard line now, here's a second down and 9.
Hey, no more. 11. 18.
Play action. Stroud now. And that'll be off the mark, too far out in front, and it's incomplete. Just a little beyond the reach there of his receiver. That's probably one he wishes he had back.
He wishes it had been 7-on-7 in practice, or maybe even routes versus air, because that's a completion he makes, 9.9 times out of 10? Just missed that one.
Hey, south. Buzzy.
Stroud looking to throw. He's got his target. That's complete. And down he goes, taking it inside the 10, just shy of the 5 at the 6. So first and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up.
First and goal at the 6-yard line.
One back in the backfield, he'll get the carry. And now, defensively, they're going to burn their first time out. Remember, they get an extra time built in coming up here shortly at the 2-minute warning. Now from the 9, here's second and goal.
Here we go.
Now Stroud. They'll set up a screen for Bigsby. And he'll be brought down here at the 3-yard line.
And that doesn't have to gain big yardage to be an impactful play, because if you get those pass rushers second-guessing themselves, that they might get hit with a screen, maybe you can wind up slowing them down just a step. And if you do that, that's a win for that play.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. A lot of tired bodies on that field, but this is a big play, third and goal. Etienne will take this one in for a Texans touchdown. What a huge touchdown that was, obviously, here in the late stages of the fourth quarter as they try to put this one away.
And, Brandon, when they watch the film after this week, they'll be very proud of every rep if they close this game out. Just a few snaps remaining. They can't relax just yet.
Extra point by Fairbairn, up and good. And the lead now up to 14.
Jets 45. Fairbairn to kick off.
So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And they will not get a chance to return this one. It's through the back of the end zone for a touchback.
Their own 35-yard line.
This is first and 10.
2, 18, 5, Cougar 19.
They'll try and start this drive in the air. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete.
You get into these 2-minute drill situations, and you've often got tired legs on the offensive line. But these defenders, they've been rotating in and out, and they're a little bit fresher and quicker. And the pressure there forced the incompletion.
And he slips up past the 45 before being tackled. The 2 timeouts still remaining, but scoring quickly, a must. It's 1st and 10. Quick hitter here, it's complete. And he's able to take it across midfield before going out of bounds. And a nice milestone reached on that last throw is here late in the season. He goes over 4,000 yards passing.
And he's really thrown the ball well all season long. Had some big games along the way. He's inspired his receiving corps to go out and make plays for him in each and every ball game.
They'll come up 1st and 10 here.
1st and 10 at the 39-yard line.
He'll drop to throw. And he will find his man on the end round, complete. Now the Jets going to use the second of their 3 timeouts.
Brings up 2nd and 3.
As they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next.
Come on, Panther 11, Panther 11, go.
2nd and 3. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. And the Texans are going to take possession here at their own 33. With the points that we've seen scored, neither defense has been at their best, but these guys, they've been a little bit better, Charles, and a nice interception there.
Yeah, you're right about that, Brandon. Let's face it. It's not always how you start, it's how you finish, right? So maybe you have a rough game all the way along, but if you make a big play like that at the right time, it can make everything turn out just okay.
Charles, a lot of happy faces heading into the tunnel as this one ends, and understandably so. Not only did they get the win, but, boy, their offense was on fire in this ball game.
And, partner, I have no idea what the top speed is on one of those high-end sports cars. What's the top gear you can get into? This offense, they certainly were there in this one, huh? Everything clicking for them in this contest, the kind of performance that they're going to cherish.
So for Houston,